Hello, this time we're going to solve quadratic equations. Okay? A quadratic equation is an equation that can be written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Always remember that your a should not be equal to 0. Okay? We're going to also try to find for the solution of a quadratic equation by graphing and by finding the square root. Okay? So how are we going to solve quadratic equation? When we are solving quadratic equation, we are actually looking for the roots or the zeros of a quadratic equation. Okay? And the roots, the zeros, and the x-intercept, when we're talking about the graph, the roots, the x-intercept, the zeros are actually the solution of a quadratic equation. Okay? So if you encounter the word find the roots, find the zeros, the x-intercept, it is actually mean the solution of the given quadratic equation. Okay? Okay. So this time, let us try to solve a given quadratic equation by graphing. We have here x squared minus 1 equals 0. Let us replace 0 by y. Y equals x squared minus 1. Okay? So in solving the given quadratic equation by graphing, of course, you're going to make a table of values. You're going to assume values of x so that we can find for the values of y. Okay? So let us try x equals 0. Let us put there. And that is 1, negative 1. Okay? Y equals x squared minus 1. What is the value of y if x is 1? So you have 1 squared minus 1. 1 times 1, that is 1, minus 1, so that is equal to 0. Therefore, the value of y is 0 if x is equal to 1. Next, what is the value of y if x is 0? So you're just going to substitute it. 0 squared minus 1. 0 times 0, that is 0, minus 1, that is negative 1. So your y is negative 1 when x is equal to 0. What is the value of y if x is equal to negative 1? So negative 1 squared minus 1. Negative 1 times negative 1, that is 1, minus 1. So you have there 0. So the value of y is 0 when x is equal to negative 1. Okay? So, based from that, we can now graph the given quadratic equation. You have here, this is 1 when y is 0. This is 0 when y is negative 1. And this is negative 1 when y is 0. Connecting the points, then we will come up with a parabola. So based from here, these points represent the solution of the given quadratic equation. Okay? So, what are the solution of the equation, I should say? So, you have x is positive 1 and x is equal to -1. Okay? Again, as what I have told you, the solution of a given quadratic equation is actually the x-intercept. Okay? Next, we have another example. We have here x. Can I just erase this one? The next one, we have x squared equals 0, or y equals x raised to y equals x squared. I'm sorry. So we're going to make table of values again. Y. Let us say we have here 1, 0, -1. What is the value of y if x is equal to 1? So 1 squared, that is equal to 1. So y is 1 when x is 1. What is the value of y if x is 0? 0 is squared. 0 times 0, that is 0. Y is 0 when x is 0. And then, when x is -1, so you have -1 times -1, that is 1. Okay? So you have here, this is 0, 0. This is 1, 1. This is -1, 1. Try to observe. What is the solution of the given quadratic equation? We have here, we only have one x-intercept. Okay? What is the coordinates of this x-intercept? You have 0, 0. So the solution of the given quadratic equation is 1, and that is 0. Okay? Now let us try to give a summary on this one. Let us compare the two graphs. Okay. We have here, how many x-intercepts are there? There are 2. We have this and this one. It means to say that the given quadratic equation has 2 solutions. It has 2 solutions because it has 2 x-intercepts. While here, we have here, the graph crosses the x-axis in just one point. Therefore, this means to say that this quadratic equation has one solution. Can you follow? Okay. And the solution of the second quadratic equation is 0. Okay. We have this one, the last one. X squared plus 1 equals 0. Or y equals x squared plus 1. So again, we're going to make a table of values. We have here your x and here is your y. Let us just make x equals to 1, 0, and -1. We're going to find for the value of y. Y equals x squared plus 1. So if x is 1, what will be the value of y? 1 times 1, that is 1, plus 1, that is now 2. So your y is 2 when x is 1. What is the value of y when x is 0? 0 squared plus 1. So 0 times 0, that is 0, plus 1, that is 1. So you have there 1 also. What is the value of y when x is -1? Y equals -1 squared plus 1. So you have there -1 times -1, that is 1, plus 1, so that is equal to 2. Okay? So we're going to graph that. So we have here, if x is 1, y is 2. If x is -1, y is 2. And if x is 0, y is 1. Okay. Now, try to observe. What is the solution of the given quadratic equation? What do you think? What do you think is the solution to the quadratic equation? It has no real number solution. Okay? This is the graph of the quadratic equation, the third one. Why is it that there is no real number solution? Try to observe the graph. Does the graph touches the x-axis? No. Therefore, we can say that this quadratic equation has no real solution. Can you follow? So that is how to determine the solution of a quadratic equation by graphing. Let us summarize. Let us say this is the Cartesian plane and this one is the graph. The parabola crosses the x-axis at 2 points. Therefore, it means to say that it has two real solutions. If the parabola touches the x-axis in 1 point, then it has one solution. But if the parabola does not touch or cross the x-axis, meaning to say the quadratic equation has no real solution. Okay? So we have here, solve x squared minus 4 equals 0. We have there already. This is the graph, so meaning to say this part represents the solution of the given quadratic equation. So what is the x-intercept here? It is positive 2 and that is negative 2. Therefore, the solution of the given quadratic equation is positive negative 2. And since the graph crosses the x-axis at 2 points, meaning this quadratic equation has two real solutions. Any question about solving a given quadratic equation by graphing? Okay? This time, we're going to find for... Sandali. Tapusin ko doon.